Hello there everyone, and today we will be reviewing a figure that I finally get a part of a combiner that I am actually looking forward to completing or work towards too. And yes, if you've seen it in local Targets, if you've been going to Target recently, you will see it. It's a big figure. What do you expect? It is the Constructicon Overload from Revenge of the Fallen. I'll be honest here, I did buy this when I first saw it, and I'll be honest here, the joint's a little, one of the joints is a little too strong to the point. I feel like when I move it, I'm gonna break the leg. I'm not joking. That's one of the issues with this figure. I will say, I do like new packaging that they are putting the plastic back on the windows for once. I will say though, this is not really the best figure, but if you can make it work, you can make it work. This did cost $55, and it is at a good pricing because it is a leader class. It doesn't come with any accessories other than one part that is mainly meant for either the vehicle mode, the robot mode, or part of the Devastator. So yeah, let's take a close look at really what you do with this and the issues it does have when you're going to play with it. So, uh, now I will say one part. He never had a robot mode ever in Revenge of the Fallen. This is the issue with this figure because he doesn't technically have a robot mode. It's hard to really describe this figure. Well, because mainly he was just either in vehicle mode or combiner mode, which means this is technically based on a concept design in a way, which is kind of the thing is I don't know how to really talk about it because like it's cool looking. Don't get me wrong, it is cool looking. However, the toy itself, mainly in robot mode, is that it doesn't know what it wants to be. Okay, for the joint. This is the issue with it. This one leg is so freaking loose, or sorry, two. It's like so freaking tight. You need to be so careful with it. But the other one is so good, and it does have a knee, which it doesn't even look like it even has a knee. I'll be honest here, this figure is so confusing and clustering. Like at this point, it's more confusing of a figure than people already realize because like since technically there is no combine. Sorry, since there technically was no robot mode for this damn thing. How do you really make a sign out of this? And you really can't. And they had to do this because well, fair purposes only. Other than that, no other reason. I will say certain parts on it are a little too loose for my liking. This part right here is too loose, but I don't see a way to connect them. These do fold down, but this is mainly meant for the front. But to fold them up, and there you go. I will say it's not bad looking of a figure. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad looking. The pins on it, they're just a solid piece. These hooks, I feel like if you squeeze them too much, you're gonna break them. This part here, when you got to connect it in, I am worried. I will be real here. I am worried that if over time it will break. And I will say the back is not that bad. I have seen worse kibble on a robot mode. This is not the worst I've seen. This is standard kind of kibble. But he is way more wider than the box, so when you really want to put it back in the packaging, you really got to shrink it down. Here is Prime, a third party Prime. Here is Leader Class Primal, which kind of shows feels like this is worth the money. Sometimes this one doesn't. Sometimes they don't want to stand on their own. Here's a high grade Bartos Rex. If it can stand. Uh, shoot. Here it's blurable, and he is technically a I want to say a forger. I could be off with that. And here's a high grade RX-78-2. Now let's do the transformation in the vehicle mode, and let's talk about that mode. Now we're going to do the vehicle mode for overload. I will say some parts of it feels like they're a little too tight. I mean, that's how it figures anyway. But best way to start, fold this up for both arms or hands at this point. These the claws. Now, as you can see right here, that part needs to connect to that part. It's pretty easy to connect in. Fold it in like that. Okay. Get this claw, fold it in downwards, then push it in like this, where it sticks outwards. Over, you need to plug that into this. And it's same one both, and same on this side too. Okay. It does take a little time to get used to because I'm be honest here, I'm not really used to it yet. Unhook this part from the back and then pop it out. This is going to be its own thing. Rotate this on both ends. And these parts are stiff. And as you can see right here, you have to connect them in. It should be easy to connect in, but sometimes it's a problem. But if you can get them in, there you go. There you go. Do that fully, and then put it down again. There you go. This is the back of the truck. This part is, I want to say, not the front. Okay, fold the head downward towards the crotch region. Yes, I know. Flip these things out, which is the front of the truck. Flip the little back part of the foot down. And if parts don't want to look like they're connected, I know. Then turn the feet to the side. And these shin guard things, they should be pushed up. So if they're not, then do that. These, you connect them in, and they do have a little hole of where they do go, which should be easy enough actually. And if you can't see so well, sorry, because the thing's so massive actually. I wish it's a little more smaller, but whatever. Now, with this part, I do have an issue with them. However, these need to connect to these, and this need to connect to this. That's the only way I can say it. Now, soon to find all those areas, which I would say the best way is look down in the bottom of it, if you can see it properly. And see if you did anything wrong. It should pop in like that. And then guide it down. And push. There you go. It should be like that. Last part, fold these down. And there are grooves right here that should fit in. Like that. And if it looks a little wonky, it is. Now, the little back thing of it, you just basically put them right there. Okay. There's the, I want to say vehicle mode. I think it's not that bad looking, but let's talk about it right quick. I'll be honest here, the vehicle mode is not that bad. Compared to a lot of vehicle modes I have seen, and being a official vehicle mode, I kind of like it. It's pretty decent looking. I will say since the legs are different. Okay, here's the thing is, I know it looks. Here, let me take this off. It looks so different in the back, even though you can see the hooks, and the back being so different. because since Devastator was a mess of different vehicles, it makes sense. I'm not really mad about it because since the legs are totally different, this would be the legs in the combiner mode. Up here, it doesn't change as much. You just gotta have the arms sticking out like the legs sticking out like crabs, which makes no sense. But I still work with it. I will say the kibble on it, it's a little messy, but it's not that bad. If you don't look as much, I mean, the only thing you do see is right here is the head. And other than that, this is not that bad. And this is clips in, like, right here. Shoot. It does go in, I think, yeah, right here. And that's okay I don't know what I know what it is for the Devastator mode, but on this thing, it makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense. I've had the leader class, we get its size. Here is Jill A4, well, which he is also part of a third-party Devastator, which I do have all the parts for, actually. So next month is probably going to have the last of Devastator, which were the legs. And I will say the funny part is, this guy I did pick up is also the legs and waist of Devastator. Same with this guy right here. So the most funny thing is, I picked up those parts that are basically the waist and body of Devastator. So that's the most funny part I have ever did. And here is the third party Prime. This is from Ride the Beast. I know the first one came out. I just haven't picked it up yet. Let's go to the last mode. I'm gonna be honest here, and I'll talk about it for a little bit. Now we're gonna do the waist mode. I don't have the other Constructicon, so you're just gonna see how it looks without them. Now, did take the thing off because this is the main neck part of Devastator. So yeah, it is just what it is. This part on top is the most easiest you can do. Take these off, or technically just move up the way they were if you're gonna put back into robot mode. Flip this out, because this will be the connecting piece to the body. Pull the arms out, and that's all you need to do with that part. Legs. These are something, man. You need to rotate this like this, pull them up, turn them this way. Yes, you're following me in the best way possible. And also, the joints are way too tight. There you go. Turn these this way. And yes, they're very clicky, which I do like. Now, these legs are different, as you can see, which makes sense because Devastator it's a big cluster of parts. Betty rotate this like this way, and then fold it in this way. Yeah. So then your leg, which was the arms, and so are the arms. These parts are way too tight. I'll be right here, but it works. This thing is just a mess. And there you have the waist mode. Like I said, it'll make sense when you get every part for Devastator. This is the only part I have, and it is a big cluster mess of everything you see now. So yeah, and it doesn't stand. I mean, it kind of stands. Kind of. That works. Anyways, let's talk about this mode. So technically here is technically the combiner mode on Bureau here. I don't really understand it because technically you do need the other parts to combine it. And like I said, it is a big cluster of everything that I really don't like about Devastator. I mean, technically I do like how it looks. But since if you put it in toy mode, it kind of makes it look too clustered to even look at, if that makes any sense. I mean, it's good that you can still hang down the head and still put back in robot mode, which is surprisingly easy at that point to really get it back into, because technically that's the most like easy way to really put this back into. So just flip this part upwards, so flip this up. You gotta let it get done. Pull it up again. Flip this up. There you go. Okay, flip that up. Leave that part. It's the most simplest transformation to really get it back into the mode you like. Which is hard to do because this figure is not really the best thing. I'm gonna be real here. Shit. It's like I said, these joints are way too tight. I understand why they're so tight. At the same time, it's just a problem of being super tight. Okay, that out. Rotate the arm, and there we go. Okay, that was here back in. It's back in the robot mode. That's the only way that mode is really useful. Just transform back into the remote and a few less steps. Surprisingly, let's get to my final thoughts on this on the transformer. I'll be honest here, this figure is heavily flawed, especially with the leg being super tight to the point I think I'm worried about it, that if you do it too much you may break the joint. I could kind of see that happening clearly, which means you need to get either DSW for DSW-40 or something to make it loose to the point not to lose like a wiggle. I would say the size of it makes it perfect for the pricing. However, since we've never seen this mode in the movie, that's where you should come alone. Because if you saw this mode, it would be pretty good. However, for my shelf, since he is pretty much a wide boy, yeah, that's super wide. But if I can make it work, I probably will. Because it's not a bad figure. I'll be real here. And I'll be real here. I think it looks good. If you really want to pick it up, you can. Just go to your local Target, trust me. I just think if you're going to pick it up, do be cautious about certain points of the articulation, mainly the legs. Because those are the issues I am seeing online about this thing. It's the legs. It says just do worry about them with caution and hand. However you can do with it, that's on you. Just pray Lord that you don't break the figure or you're in trouble. For yourself. No one else here. But, yeah. And the container back on. I know people do show it like this, and I know you can technically do it the other way, which is like that, like this. When I do like this way, it is definitely like a hornet nest, and you really can't see it either unless you really look downwards, and you can aim it down too, which makes total sense too. So, what do you think? Would you buy this figure? If you had to, you don't have to. It's your money, so not even like and subscribe in the Discord. All social media should be my link tree, which will be in the description to below of where I am and etc. So that's it for today's video, and that's it. See you next time.